but it felt like a wine kind of live. I think you know what I want to talk about, especially if you come from Instagram, but just in general, there's been some news in the past 24 hours that may spark some interest in those of us my age, but especially with those of us that are like as excited about Vegas and Vegas weddings as I am. JLo and Ben Affleck. JLo and Ben Affleck, 20 years after their original engagement, have got married in Vegas. Couldn't be more excited. I saw that come up last night. I follow an Instagram account. Hi, Joanna. I follow an Instagram account called Not Skinny But Not Fat. I think that's her username. Hi, Claire. Hi, Rebecca. And that first came up like, I think this has happened. And then little by little, bits more information came in. And by the time I woke up this morning, she had... Hi, Nikki. She had announced it, confirmed, posted some stuff on her website, which, by the way, have any of you managed to get on her JLo newsletter? Because every time something big happens, like when she got engaged to Ben last year, I signed up to it. I can't figure out how to actually get the information. I don't know, just well, you go to it and it just says like sign up, but not log in or whatever. I don't know. So I didn't read it from it, but I had to wait for it to kind of like filter across social media, which wasn't long. And they got married in the same chapel that we have booked for our vow renewal in October. So even better, full circle. And yes, I would agree, my finger in the lens, with Sarah. It's about time we had some totally fluffy, happy news. Yes. And Kate, literally thought of you as soon as I saw the news. That's all I want to be synonymous with, is things like this, like Vlogmas, obsessions about celebrities, and Las Vegas. There are a few things, but they're up there. And just complaining about life constantly. Obviously this week complaining about heat constantly, but just in general, I'm tired, miserable, yada yada. She complains. Yes, me too, Nikki. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for them. For me, if we could follow this up with Kim and Pete, that would just be fantastic. I know not everyone's for them, but I really like them. But I love Bennifer. Very upset that my daughter doesn't know who Ben Affleck is and can't share in my excitement for their reunion. But then they got married. Oh, love it. I love it. Your biggest wedding excitement is the cutest thing ever. I'm very excited, Nikki. Well, it's like, it's 10 years since we did it the first time, and it was all very kind of, we got married with not a lot of notice because we were waiting and waiting and waiting, and then kind of everything came together and we did it as quickly as possible. And that was very fun to do it, like very, and it was, it wasn't shotgun. We did have a baby already. I think it was maybe 4 weeks after, no, not 4 weeks, 8 weeks after Milo was born. Maybe. That makes more sense because he was November and it was the end of January. Maybe a little bit longer than that, but yeah, it was kind of, it was fun doing it all that way and it being very quick. It felt kind of Vegas-y, but we always wanted to do it in Vegas, and so yeah, I'm really, really excited to go and do it. I think I'm going to be on a real down when we come back from that trip. Do we know what chapel it was in? I think the Little White Chapel has a few different ones inside. Yes, specifically, they did it at the drive-through Tunnel of Love, which is what we've booked. It's iconic. All the celebrities get married there. Not all in the Tunnel of Love bit, though. But they all get married there. It's like, Joan Collins and Michael Jordan, Britney Spears got married there. Loads of people. I think Joe Jonas and the woman he's married to, Sophie something. Am I thinking of the right people? I don't know. The dress choices. That's tricky. Emma is coming in the middle of August, and I've told her she needs to help me decide on a dress. I think that's going to be the time. She's going to help me film a video where I try them all on, and she wanted to take pictures of me with all these different dresses on, doing like different housework, which I thought would be fun. It was entirely Emma's idea. And then I thought what I might do is use those pictures in October, kind of like in a lead up to the actual wedding, where I'll tell you the dress that we've actually chosen. Me and Emma, not me and Lee. Lee has no idea what he's going to wear yet. He's just like, well, tell me what to wear. I'm like, just, you know, this is the one thing. I've sorted everything out. This is my vision. You just pick a suit. That's all I want from you. But I'm just looking at this. It's ridiculous. This is the rack of dresses that needs to be whittled down to one. I mean, some of them are just kind of white dresses. Well, there's several sparkly ones. I just don't know whether or not, in an ideal world, I'd like to wear 2 of them. I just don't know whether or not I want to do like a little dress, you know, like a little dress that then I can go out in, or do I want to have like a big dress that then we've got to go back to the hotel and change, because I'm not going to walk around Las Vegas in like an enormous, really heavy dress, but very nice for pictures. See if Lee can look like Ben Affleck. Can he grow a beard? He can grow a beard, but he refuses to keep it because it's grey. I actually think it looks great. He looks great. He's got a decent amount of grey in his hair now, but because of his colouring, I think it works for him. I think it looks good, but every time the beard grows in, he shaves it. I'm like, just leave it 1 more week and see. I mean, I'm not into like a beard, but you know, like enough for it to be kind of soft, but not like a full beard, just like soft. Do you know what I mean? Almost like goatee length, but not a goatee. I think Lee would suit a beard. I'm going to do a poll on Instagram. You just say it's uncomfortable. My dad had a full moustache all through my childhood, and still now. My dad had a full moustache, and for a long time he had like a full beard. And the reason that he had that was he had really bad skin when he was a teenager. So as soon as he could, he grew as much facial hair as he could to kind of cover up his face. And when I was a kid, I remember asking him if he would shave his moustache off just to see what he would look like. And he said he was scared of what was underneath it. And he's never, ever had a completely, like never in my entire life, and probably since he was a teenager, he's never shaved his moustache up completely. There was a point where he kind of grew it into a goatee and it was all shorter. And that's kind of where he's at now. I remember one Sunday dinner, we were talking about my dad's goatee, and my mum went, when did you grow that? Like, when was this a thing? And he'd had it for like 3 years and she's just not really noticed. Go big or go home with the dress. You need someone to help change like they do at the Met Gala. Well, see, I'm not a prude. Plus, it's like fairly desolate area. It's like there's not a lot of people around there. I think I could manage to swap into a different dress quite easily underneath one of them. If I did like the big let me show you. If I did the big sparkly dress, bear in mind I'm wearing kind of workout gear. Not because Nikki, it's been a minute. Nikki, there's 2 Nikkis. My 2 favourite Nikkis. And the other Nikki I haven't seen around in a while. Right, so just, you know, bear in mind I'm wearing like weird clothes. But this is all I can wear because it's melty. So this is the sparkly dress to which some people are referring. And it is everything. Let me not roll over it with my chair. I mean, it is. And the best thing about it is it's like super, super sparkly up here. And the back is really low as well. And then it's got this bit across the top. This, I think, really, really simply, I could wear this at first. And then I could shimmy something else on underneath and like then let this drop and be wearing something small and then be able to go out, you know? I mean, it is gorgeous. Shall I put it on over the top of this crazy outfit? But I don't know if it's quite like if I had to just pick one, would it be this dress? That is the real question. And I don't know. I've only put this on like once for a moment. I haven't even really tried it on properly yet. So this is very impromptu. It's literally just been sitting there. Having barely. So I'm just kind of like, hanging there mocking me, like, why won't you even try me on? Okay, so. Very mermaidy. So let's just pretend it's on properly. It is amazing. It doesn't weigh loads. I mean, it's heavy, but it's not crazy, crazy. Also, this part, not a problem. I enjoy a deep V. But I don't know if it's incredibly flattering. I think it's beautiful. And if, you know, if this was all like up as it should be, maybe it's supposed to be zipped. Wait a second. Is there a zip? Oh, there is a zip. There is a zip. Ugh. I don't know how difficult it is to try and zip yourself up around sequins. Okay, that's about as much as I can get it. Okay, it's a little bit better now. I've zipped it up properly. And there's something in the back that obviously would hold it up properly. But, do you know what I mean? It's quite, I mean, obviously it'd be quite like booby. But it's a lot of material. So I don't know if it's like the most flattering dress in the world. Now I do think, because we're going to get married at, I think I booked her for 5:30 till 6:30, and I think sunset is at 6. Whatever it was, I booked her like half an hour before sunset and half an hour afterwards. And part of me thinks I might push and pay for another half an hour just because while we're there, you know, what's an extra few £100s? So she says because 10 years ago we had no money at all, and now we can have a bit of a blowout in Vegas and just, you know, have the fun wedding that we would have wanted. So what I'm thinking is maybe I could do a smaller dress at first and for the actual renewal, and then put this on for like when the lights are coming on, you know, like when the neons are coming on and the sun is going down, and this might look a little bit better kind of at sunset. What do we think? I mean, you're going to have to obviously weigh in properly when you've seen the other options. I have so many options. So very many options. I do love this dress, and it absolutely screams Vegas. And I think I would probably be disappointed if I didn't wear it, but I just don't know if I had to pick only one, if that's the dress, you know? To hook this back on, otherwise it will fall off. Also, the one that was definitely the front runner previously to that was this one. If you remember me actually trying the dresses on, this is so gorgeous, and the back of it is like next level amazing. The only problem with this is, again, it's very covered up. Not sure how flattering it is. Just love the back so much. But I wonder if I could, because it's very long, if I could make this work for like a really fancy dinner. It might be too crazy. It might be too crazy. I'll be real. That's another one that I'm like, ugh, if I don't wear it. And then of the simple ones, this one, which doesn't look very exciting at all, but when it's on, it's really, really nice. And part of me thinks that maybe I would do this for, you know, we originally get there, take some photos, we do the actual vow renewal, and then I put on something crazier. Or I could do something shorter, like this one, something a bit more like, this reminds me of the Clueless dress. You know, like, it says who? Calvin Klein. That dress. Or even, if I wasn't feeling awful about it, if I actually managed to get myself strapped into this and like it, the one from, I really do like this, the one from Zara, which this feels like a Vegas wedding dress to me. This feels like very retro, very kind of classic Vegas. I mean, there's so many. I also got this, which doesn't really fit the bill, but there's some dresses that I'm just going to wear while we're there because this is why I bought them. But I bought lots of dresses like this. Like this I got in the sale from H&M. And this is all kind of sparkly. And what did I pay? £9 for this. I mean, this is kind of cute too. Even if I did the first bit in this and then changed into the crazy one, you know? There's just too many options. That's the problem. Maybe when we do the video, Emma and I will do the actual YouTube video, but also maybe we'll also do some like live polls on Instagram at the same time, because I'm really struggling. Not that, you know, like if I had an absolute, this is definitely what I want to do, it wouldn't really matter what anybody else's opinion was. I don't think it's a great idea to ask for people's opinions when you just want someone to confirm what you already want, you know? But in this instance, I really don't know. And really what I just want to do is wear all of them. That's the problem. Okay, let me go back because I've missed everything while I was trying this on. You were very excited about the sparkles. Okay. Does it weigh a ton? No, it really was very lightweight compared to what you would think. But it's heavy enough that it feels like good quality, you know, but it's not super, super heavy. You're putting on a massive wedding dress in the middle of a heat wave. Oh, Lorna. Flattering is an awful word in my opinion. I hear you. I hear you. But there's not really another word for that. There isn't really another word for flattering that won't trigger someone, you know? For me, what will make me, my current body, as I am, look the best in my mind that it can look, you know? Because flattering is completely relative and totally objective to the person. I said this so many times, like, if you've got, like, a thing about your arms, you see that in other people. And people are seeing themselves when they look at you. They're not seeing you. So it's all totally through your own lens and totally objective. Why am I doing this today? I know I'm insane. If this is why I've not filmed anything, because I've been so hot and miserable. But you guys got me excited enough to try these dresses on. And the photos would be gorgeous, totally. The pearl one, get it taken up, mini length. Right, so I think you mean the one, you know, like the beigey one. Okay, so I really have thought about this, and part of the thing that I love about that dress is it's got kind of a train. It's so gorgeous. It's so, so beautiful. But I love the back, and I have considered having some of them altered, because there are some dresses that I absolutely love and I want to be able to wear them while we're there, because I absolutely love the idea of doing a bridal wardrobe, just a full bridal wardrobe for like the whole trip, just wearing kind of like whites and creams and gorgeous outfits. I really am keen on that, and I basically already have it if I alter things. So I have considered that, but also part of me thinks, am I just ruining a dress? How often am I going to wear it beyond this? Am I ruining a dress that otherwise somebody else could really wear and get a lot of pleasure from? Because you can't buy that anymore. I don't know. Kind of kills me a little bit. But if it was short enough, I probably would. I don't know. I also really like the idea of something we wear on this trip. Not even me and Lee. Am I talking about you and I? I don't know. Something that we collectively wear on this trip, being like an anniversary dress. Any of them could be. Because one of the things that I really liked, I found this dress from Misha. Those of you who follow me on Instagram may remember my deep dive. I found a picture of Busy Phillips wearing this dress. Amazing. And it's called the Misha Devon dress. She posted a picture of it, didn't link anything. I had to go back, try and figure out what event she'd been at this thing 2 years ago. Found it, found where it was from, found what the dress was called. No longer available. It was originally about £600. You can occasionally find it in purple. Yes, it is a group project at this point, Nikki, you're right. We are a we. I found this dress in purple, and then I found it in ivory, like the perfect dress. It's kind of beaded, it's cowl in both, but it's kind of knee length. It's really gorgeous. And the only place I found it was at Higher Street, which is a designer dress hire place, which also, if anyone's interested, not sponsored, but an amazing idea. I didn't even know this was a real thing. Plus, they do ones where you can get like 4 dresses for £40 for like to take for 10 days if you're going on holiday, that kind of thing. Very, very interesting idea. And in the back of my mind, I am kind of thinking maybe still I could get that dress and hire it just to take with me. I actually reached out to them and asked whether or not they would sell it to me. And in fairness to them, because they do that occasionally, they did go away, ask the questions, and then they came back and said they weren't looking to sell it. They are selling the purple one, annoyingly. But the thing I think I really loved about that dress was that I could have worn it for the vow renewal, and it wasn't so bridal, but I couldn't wear it again. And I liked the idea of being able to wear the same dress on our anniversary every year. So maybe there's something here that I could wear on the trip that maybe would work that way, because obviously the big crazy batwing thing, couldn't really wear that to dinner. for years to come. Let me get back. Maybe this one would be better for evening photos. It would sparkle so much. Yes. Also, when I go back to my photographer nearer the time and we go through like, this is what I want shot wise, I'm going to ask her that question and be like, okay, here's the thing. Here are the dresses. What do you think? What do you think we can do? I also like the idea of like being in the car and stuff, because there's like a pink limo where we're getting married. And I don't know how easy it would be to like get in and out of things. I also don't want to be wearing something that's kind of scratchy. I'm sure people don't necessarily consider this, but I don't, like if you lean up against the car, I don't want to be wearing something that could scratch the car. Second one, could you get the sleeves removed? What was the second one? Oh, the one with the, like the peachy colour. I think the long sleeves really make it. The issue I've got with that one, I think, is the high neck. I don't know if that's super flattering on me, but like high neck and long, but maybe if I did have it shortened, if it was like a mini dress, then it's kind of high neck but legs, you know? That actually is a great idea. I hadn't really thought of, because I saw it as just like a, this is the most amazing. Oh, again, new dress with scoop back would be luscious and mini because the high neck and long sleeves. Yes. When you close your eyes and picture your wedding dress, is there anything in particular you see? That's a great question, because I think it's a little dress. I think it's like a little white dress. But part of me wants the big dress, because I never had the big dress. Even when I got married the first time, I had a very modest dress because I just didn't think it was me. And also I didn't want to, my mum said she would buy me a wedding dress, and I was like, I can't let you spend this kind of money on a dress. I didn't even go to my prom when I was a teenager because I was so, like, people were spending all this money on dresses. It was insane. I didn't even tell my mum there was a prom. I was like, this is crazy. I couldn't get on board with that, which might surprise those of you that are like, but you buy designer handbags. But I bought them for myself, you know? I just felt really weird about the whole thing. And so as a result, I kind of want the big, like, wow dress, even if it's just for a few photos. And then I just, don't know, keep it in a wardrobe forever. I don't know. But I think when I picture, like, actually doing the renewal with the little pink car, I think I picture a small dress, like a little mini dress of some kind. Or at least like a slim dress. But the big sparkly dress, I don't know. There's still time. Could just like pull something out of the bag right at the last minute. I have my very last fitting for my wedding dress on Wednesday, hopefully when it's much cooler. Oh my goodness, I hope that they've got air conditioning in that place. Yes, whole bridal trip, do it. I'm gonna. The back and the train on the nude one are gorgeous, but the back wing one feels more bridal. Yeah, I don't think the nude one is the right dress for the actual ceremony. But I think, do you know what it is? That, with the pictures I originally saw when I was first looking at Vegas ceremonies, I saw a lot of kind of golden hour desert pictures. And that dress, in that setting, if we went into the desert, because it was one of the things we were considering doing, if we went into the desert and took those pictures, incredible. Absolutely amazing. And we could still do that just on our own. Tripod, camera, remote. I can still take all those pictures. And there are some pictures, like I've got a whole Pinterest board full of like image ideas that really we're only going to be able to take for ourselves, because we've just, I can't explain to you how expensive photographers are in Vegas. It's just astronomical. I'm convinced it will be absolutely worth it, but so expensive. Like 7 or 8 times the actual cost of the ceremony. Big money. And so I'm only having that for like the smallest amount of time in which we can get what we want. And I was really happy with the call that I had with the photographer, because she made me feel like, she was like, yes, we can do it in this time. Totally get it. We don't feel super comfortable having our photo taken. I want it just kind of be like, go. And then we've got the photos. We can leave. But there are certain photos, like, I'd like photos of us in our stuff in the casino, but we'll probably have to take those pictures for ourselves somehow. I'd like a picture like in a lift. I've seen these pictures where the lift's closing and you can see the people. really like that. That's the kind of thing that's going to freak me out, because I'm going to put my phone on a tripod outside of the lift, take the picture while we're in the lift and the lift doors are closing, and he's going to be having like a panic attack that I'm going to lose my phone. I'm prepared to take the risk. I might take like a spare old phone or something to do that with. But that's the stuff that I'm excited to take those photos, but we'll do that separately. And maybe I could do that with some of these other dresses. I don't know. The anniversary idea is lovely. I'm really keen on that. Not me waiting for your live on Insta. I should listen properly. To be fair, I told you on Insta. Why would the live not be on Insta? But this has been saved, so if you want to go back and watch it again, you can. Funny how you mentioned in the blog earlier not being able to accept money. Oh, in my podcast, or my vlog. And then you wouldn't let your mum buy you a prom dress. Yes. I mean, my mum didn't know about the prom dress, but she was all in to buy me whatever wedding dress I wanted. And I got one from Monsoon, which to me was still really expensive, like £200. And she was like, no, you know, I want you to have the dress that you want. But I just felt so uncomfortable. And you know, all of the wedding and everything we paid for ourselves, and I feel so uncomfortable with the whole idea. It's a really, really interesting concept. And my friend that I was talking about that with last week, she's actually coming around tomorrow, and we've said it's going to be a full therapy session, because we want to talk about, like, why is this? She's going to get to the root of it. By the end of it, she's going to convince me to let Lou buy me some shoes. Definitely. Oh, the DIY. I read that as dessert. DIY dessert shoot. DIY desert shoot. Definitely. How about a simple dress for the ceremony and a blingy dress for the pictures? Then get a blingy dress turned into something. Oh, like a jacket to wear on your anniversary. That is a cool idea. Oh, I wonder if I could get, you know, like the bat wing. I wonder if I could get it turned into just a top that I could wear with jeans or something to make it a little bit less out there. Or even if I could get it made into like a top and skirt, so that I could wear it as all in one again if I wanted to. Always interesting. What's Lee going to wear? A tux. I think he's just going to get a black suit. I just really like kind of the skinny black suit look. And he likes that too. The problem we have is he's a strange shape. He's very broad in the shoulders and very narrow in the waist. And so every suit he's ever had gapes. It's like it's making space for boobs that he doesn't have. It just gapes here. So I've been trying to do some research on like certain brands, certain companies that make suits for people with this body type. And I found some threads last night of people asking the same question, like men saying, you know, I'm this and their proportions, and does anyone recommend anything? And there were people saying that they'd had them custom made and they still had the same problem. So I think we're just going to go with whatever is cost effective and he feels good in, because it seems to be, from what I've read, it doesn't matter how much money you spend. You're not going to find something that, I mean, I'm sure if you spend like £1,000, but if within reason, it doesn't matter how much money you spend, you're not going to get exactly the right fit if you are like particularly broad in the shoulders. So as long as he doesn't actually close the suit jacket, it's fine. And I quite like that look anyway, but I think it's just going to be black suit. Also, you know, something you can wear again. It seems wasteful to just buy a suit for this occasion. I'm sure some people would disagree. What about a little dress but with a big tulle skirt added on top for the ceremony? Well, Sarah. Well. You mean like a skirt like this? Like this kind of tulle skirt? Do you know, I literally thought of every single thing. I also have this, which I think was from Tesco last year, which, how gorgeous is this? Can we just have a moment for this? It's a, like just below the knee. Gorgeous. Because I also considered something like that with like imagine with just like a cami top. Again, this doesn't look that great on this hanger, but it's so much nicer on. Imagine like a cami top like that, but with this skirt. How beautiful. But I think it's a bit blah, to be honest, compared to, it's kind of like bridal but not wedding day, you know? Or like more bridesmaid or rehearsal dinner in America. Pretty sure a hotel bellboy or someone would help you. Oh, with the lift photo. That is a great question, or a great point. Never even thought about that. I was kind of just thinking we would do it on our floor, because there's usually like a bank of lifts. So, for sure, that's a good idea. I might ask someone to help us out with that. Please try Vanderpump Paris restaurant. It's so good. I'm making a list. Lee still watches Vanderpump Rules, so he's desperate to go to the one in, is it Bellagio or Caesars? They've got like a garden bar. He wants to go there, and I don't know if he knows about the Paris one yet, but I was watching a vlog yesterday and I put that on the list. We've so far only booked Largo, the restaurant with the balcony or the veranda that's like on the water, where you see the Bellagio fountains. We have eaten at a restaurant, one of those restaurants around the Lake Bellagio bit, and we could see through the window the fountains. But in an ideal world, we would love to be on the actual veranda. So please drink your wine. It's making me thirsty. It's just, you know, the longer I leave it, the colder it is. So if we get to go on the veranda, that'll just be like absolutely magic. I did, when I put my reservation in, I did put in like, this will be immediately after our wedding. It won't, it's like the next day, but I will be wearing something that looks like it was immediately after our wedding, as discussed. Can't wait to see the photos on your Instagram. Desert photo shoot does sound unreal. The pictures that people have are incredible. Whether or not we do that, we'll see, because I'm very scared of snakes. So it does put me off slightly going into the desert any more than I need to. But it's a nice idea, and maybe. Tailoring isn't extortionately expensive. Could buy off the rack suit and get it tailored. That's something for sure we would look into. I've had that done before for certain things. But again, these people on these threads I was reading were basically saying, when you're this shape, even when you get something tailored, it's not great. And one of them, it said, when he'd had something tailored at Moss Brothers, it was even worse. So, not ideal. I've been to Vanderpump Gardens. It's stunning. I'm looking forward to that one. Honestly, can't wait for your Vegas wedding trip. I'm so invested. I know. But then it's going to be over, Nikki. I actually am so happy that we couldn't go. We could have gone in January, but it wouldn't have been the same. And I didn't want to have to wear a mask, honestly. The majority of it was we were worried about the restrictions and not being able to go or getting stuck there. That was the reason that we ended up rescheduling it. But now that the restrictions have been lifted and there's no masks, I'm really, really happy that we've rescheduled it, because that would have taken the shine off a little bit. Because when you're on holiday, you wear makeup, and when you're a mask, you know, it's not ideal. Especially like when you have to go, like I would have had to wear a mask to go into the vow renewal place. It's not great, you know. Not a perfect situation. You don't want to be smudging your makeup when you've taken so long to like plan for something. You want it to be great. So I'm really glad. Plus we've had like an extra 10 months of excitement about it. If not the desert, how about the neon graveyard? Something we've considered, but you have to actually pay an additional fee if you want to take any equipment in to take a photo. So I don't know how much stuff I could take. Like a little travel tripod for my phone. Can I get away with that? Without it being, because I don't even need to take a big camera. I could take just my phone and a travel tripod. That would do it. I need to do a little bit of research because we've never been there before, but that would be really cool for some photos. So I would consider that. Travel with Ruby is a great YouTuber to watch for Vegas videos. Thank you. I'll look that up. We're not talking about it being over. No. I know. I mean, we did just book our Disney holiday for next year, or at least we booked the first part of it, so we will have something to look forward to. But I feel like this has been something that in the back of my mind I've been planning for 10 years, and then as it got closer and closer I was like, oh, we're really booking it, and then we were going to be there on our actual anniversary, and then that was a bit of a downer because we like moved it, and now I'm getting more and more excited about it again, and part of me is like, oh, I can't wait to go, and part of me wants to live in the week before forever and never actually go, because as soon as we go, it's over. But I'm so excited to be there. Every time we get in the hot tub on a Friday night with a drink, we're like, oh, could be Vegas. Could be better. I mean, with this heat, this is crazy. My friend's coming around tomorrow, and we are going to sit in the garden for a short period of time. She said she wants to get a tan. I'm like, yes, we can sit in the garden for a short period of time. I do not think you need to be out there for very long. If you want to do that, I'm going to be like hat over the face. I was full SPF'd up when I sat SPF'd up on Saturday when we were sitting outside. And I don't know if it is that pink now. Still a little pink on my back. Still a little pink. And I was very liberally applying it regularly. But maybe I just couldn't reach that part of my back. But I haven't been out in it at all today. I tried to, literally just walked outside thinking, it's 6 o'clock nearly. It was 5:30. I'll sit out there and like edit the podcast and edit this vlog. No, thank you. Also, if you don't know already and you're with me at this point, I have started a new podcast. It is called Michaela Talks, just for, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's basically like this, but a podcast. So if you're more of a listener, especially, was just about to ask if you'd SPF'd your back. I tried, but like with the spray as much as you can. If you're more into listening these days, which especially if you're like walking outside or if you are sunbathing, being outside more with the weather being nice, or you're just like not so much into YouTube, because I know for some people we get kind of ebb and flow, and in the summer months especially, I think kind of like declines a little bit, and then we find it again in the autumn time, tends to be. I've basically just kind of taken the format of the vlogs, or sometimes when I do a video where I'm just kind of, here's the topic and this is what we're going to be talking about, that is kind of translated over to a podcast. I'm really enjoying it. I've just like, even after the last podcast that I recorded, I kind of went, I just want to talk about this next time, and I'll just make a few notes. Sometimes I'll write a little bit of an outline of what I want to talk about. Sometimes it's just kind of like bullet points just to kind of keep me vaguely on track. And sometimes I just talk, but they're around 25 minutes long. And if you're interested at all, I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm kind of working on getting to the places that I'm not showing up yet. But if you have a place that you listen to podcasts and you search Michaela Talks, you should be able to find me there. And there are already 9 episodes. You could have had matching masks to all the dresses. Oh my god. Still, even now, if I ended up having one of these cut down, how fun would it be to make a mask out of one of these like materials, obviously like over the top of a proper material, in case there was a place that needed a mask. That would be pretty fun. Where am I missing? Oh, are you asking, Kaz, where's a nice place to eat in Donny? Because honestly, I don't even know. We usually eat at chains. I know. Oh, thank you. Love the podcast. Great for commuting days. This live. Oh, Nikki, this live has actually made me forget how unbearably hot it is for a little while. Do you know, it has for me as well. And just to say, I did try on that crazy dress. Just for this moment, it's such a lovely distraction. I'm hoping this is how it's going to film when my friend comes around tomorrow. That you just kind of, you're in it, you're chatting. And this is like the hottest room in the house as well, which is why I've had to leave the window open, even with the children playing on the street. It has been a nice little distraction. Just for this moment, we can pretend. I can pretend that I'm in Vegas and it's just hot because it's Vegas and it's not because of global warming. Recording episode 50 of my pod tomorrow while turning into a human-shaped puddle. Congratulations, Tracy. 50 is a huge achievement. I did say in one of the first episodes of this new podcast that I've created, I think I got to 20. I think that was the best run that I had. The reason that the previous ones had not worked out was mainly because I needed other people, either as like another person to talk to, or people needed to send me things to do the thing, and it just didn't work out. And this time it literally is just vlogs in podcast form, and I just can't see a reason why it can't continue forever. Plus, there's no particular day that it goes up, no particular time. It's very as and when I feel like it. So much the same as with the vlogs. If I said, right, every Sunday I have to post a vlog, that would get really old really fast, and I would suddenly not even have one vlog a week. Whereas when I can just post them whenever I want, you get several vlogs a week, whether you like it or not. And it all feels very kind of just organic and like just natural to whatever it is that I want to do. If there's one day where I'm like, oh, I want to talk about this, I can do a podcast. I can do 2 podcasts in a day. I can do 10 podcasts in a day. That's just kind of what works for me. When I first started making YouTube videos, that is basically what I did. I was very prolific and constantly posted one after the other whenever I was like in the mood. There was no particular schedule, and I think that's how I found an audience in the first place. It was just like a lot. And especially these days, we want stuff to binge. If you said to me, there's this new podcast, go and listen to it, and there was one 20-minute episode, I might be really into it, but I can't, it doesn't hook me in if there's just one. And if I have to wait 6 weeks to have 6 to binge, it's just never going to get me there. I need to find something that's already got like a back catalogue of 200 episodes, and then I'm like, yes. So that's kind of how I feel. So because that's how I am as a listener, I thought, well, I'm just going to do this very casually, not be like, oh, there's going to be a podcast and it's going to start on this day and this is episode 1, and like get everyone ready for it. I thought I'm just going to do it, and then by the time you find it, hopefully there's like a bunch of episodes that you can pick and choose from, and if you want to listen, you can listen, and you can listen to a few. You don't have to be like, oh, I've just listened to 10 minutes and I've got to wait another week for another half an hour, you know? It's not my vibe. Takes me 20 minutes to walk. 20 minutes to get to work, and I listen to your podcast in the car on the way. Amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Not been to Meadowhall for a long time. Do you know, I nearly went today, and then I had to be home because Ella didn't have a key. She lost it. So I had to come home. Or rather, actually, I never came home. I never even left the house because I decided to keep Milo off school. So I sent Ella out to get a new key today because I need to be able to go to Meadowhall. Mostly, I wanted to go to Bridal today for the air conditioning. I missed a bit in the middle of the live today. Did you go to Meadowhall today? No, and that's why. I did like the Calling All Friends podcast. I loved that podcast, Nikki. The podcast episodes, I think they're all still available to listen to, I believe. They took a long time to put together. It was a very, like, these episodes are just, it takes almost as long as it takes to just talk. Sometimes I'll do some notes, so let's say 5-10 minutes ahead of time, and then like 25 minutes, 5-10 minutes of editing and getting it actually out into the world. It's so streamlined. Whereas the Calling All Friends one was a solid day of everything. It was really time consuming. So I think what I'd like to do is do some similar episodes like that as and when I have the time and we have something that we want to talk about and people want to get involved with. I'd love to do some more like that because they were a really fun format. If you'd never listened to that, basically, I got people to ask questions and I got people to answer questions. People would send voice notes in and I would kind of like slot them all in, and I would talk in between, introducing the clips and giving like my own opinions about things. I really did love them, but it didn't make any sense to keep it up because it took so much time and it gave nothing back financially. So in that time I could have been doing something that actually earned me some money, and it got to the point where it wasn't even labour of love because it was so difficult to put together. I just wasn't getting enough people send me stuff. That was really the crux of it. I think I would need a much larger audience to make that work. It always made me think of the advice podcasts where they used to say, I used to listen to these advice podcasts and every single one of them said in the beginning they just used to make stuff up. They used to just make up questions because no one was sending them questions. So they would just make up a question and that would be their episode. That's basically what I would have needed to do, but I needed voice notes. So it didn't really work. But I loved the idea. And maybe we'll do something like that. I'm considering going to the Trafford Centre tomorrow purely in the hope that it's air conditioned. Oh, it will definitely be. Oh my God, it's so hot. How will we live through tomorrow? Truthfully, I don't know. I've stayed inside all day today and Lee has come home with an enormous pedestal fan because last night was not fun. So, I'm really hopeful that it will be a much nicer evening of sleep, and that tomorrow is not horrible. First thing in the morning before it gets hot, because Ella is back with us today, I'm going to leave the kids at home, run out to Asda or Tesco probably, get some ice. Lee's brought home some ice, but you can never have too much ice. Get some like juice and stuff for the day, some like snacks. I made a chicken today and I couldn't even face it. I was like, I made a chicken. I thought I'll have it with like some salad or whatever. I don't even want anything to do with this chicken. Milo wanted a full chicken dinner. I bought a chicken and I bought some like Caesar salad stuff, and I thought, well, he can have like chicken, broccoli and some gravy, and I'll have it with a Caesar salad. I couldn't even get the chicken out of the oven. Just left it in there, like just opened it, left it in there, and I thought we'll have it cold later because I can't even deal with this oven chicken right now. So when I finish this, that's probably what I'm gonna do. Have some cold chicken with some Caesar salad, but it's not fun, guys. When my friend comes tomorrow, I don't know what we're gonna eat. The original plan was we were gonna go out for dinner, and then various things changed, and then it was like, oh, well, the weather's going to be nice, so we'll go here. And now the kids are going to be home, so we have no option of, I mean, obviously we could take the kids, but we're going to be stuck in the house. And so now I'm like, well, what are we going to eat? What are we going to eat? No, today's not a day for cooking. Also, I skipped HelloFresh last week. And then while like my recipes came up, and I was like, right, I'm not going to skip HelloFresh this week because I want to eat better. So I put in my stuff, and it arrived today, and I just thought, no, I can't think of anything worse than cooking. But one of the things that I got was like a vegetable chili, and I'm like, part of me wants that. I don't know. And also fish. A fish one was really nice. Actually, do you know what? Maybe I'll make the fish for my friend tomorrow for lunch. Maybe that's what we'll have. Because Lee eats fish under duress. Oh, I love cooking. It's just so hot, you know. It's just a bit too hot. Right. Before I wrap this up, has anybody got anything else to say about the benefit of it all? Because that was originally supposed to be the theme of this. That was the topic of conversation. Entirely the topic of conversation. But we went off on a tangent. Related, but still. Also, Cam, not to be, you know, go on and on and on, but have you tried HelloFresh? Because I've always kind of enjoyed cooking, but once you actually learn how to cook, which HelloFresh truly, over the past however many years that I've been subscribed to it, has taught me so much about cooking, it's a lot more enjoyable. It is. Their marriage gives me hope. I like that. I really do. Taking calls in this weather should be illegal. Agreed. We had sushi because we couldn't face anything hot. Do you know, I was not feeling very well the other week. I think it was the heat was like messing with me, and my stomach was not feeling great. And Lee got me sushi, which theoretically I should have loved. And I was like, no, I don't want anything to do with sushi. No way. I just need Brad and Jen to get back together, and my teenage dreams will finally be complete. And Nick and Jessica. I mean, I don't really want them to get back together, but I kind of do. I never tried HelloFresh. I will do. Message me on Instagram, and I'll send you my code that they sent me with the last thing, because it's a particularly good one. It's like 60% off or something crazy, and that's only for a short period of time. I love benefit. Let's hear it for people learning from their younger mistakes and making good changes later in life. Do you know? I don't even think it was young mistakes. I think it was the press. The press just destroyed them. I listened to her audiobook. I think it was called True Love. And it was to do with, well, obviously, just like the loves of her life and her kids and all of this stuff. And she talked about getting divorced. And this was before A-Rod. And she had lovely things to say about Ben Affleck at that time, and she basically said that the press ruined that relationship. So this was way before even a whisper of them possibly getting back together. In fact, at this time, he might have even still been with Jennifer Garner, but she did say, like, she was absolutely heartbroken when that didn't work out, because it just didn't. It should have worked out, but it was never gonna, because the press just wouldn't leave them alone. I also think sometimes right person, wrong time. Sometimes we need to find ourselves first. Totally agree. And I love that they went away and had children with different people, and then they come together and they're gonna like blend these families. And you know, both of the people that they married seem like such nice people. Like previously, Mark Anthony and Jennifer Garner, just lovely people. I can't imagine better people to have to co-parent with, and to have as the co-parent of your now spouse. Because, you know, there's always the potential of issues and like drama and what. I just don't see it. I can't see Jennifer Garner creating that problem. I can't see Mark Anthony creating that problem. It all just feels right, you know. Also, I was trying to do some research because she wore a dress that she kept from a film. And I cannot figure out what this film was that she got the dress from. So what I'm going to do is watch every Jennifer Lopez film that exists from today. That's now, when I go downstairs and Lee's like, what are we watching tonight? I'll be like, pick a Jennifer Lopez film, because that's all we're going to watch for however many weeks it takes before I find out what movie the dress is from that she was wearing on her wedding day. Not the wedding dress, because that seems to be a different one. I can't wait for her to release more pictures. Surely there's going to be more pictures than she's posted. Oh, I can't wait. Everything's just so exciting. I feel like age and maturity definitely impacts our ability to deal with the kinds of media pressures they were facing. Yeah, and it was so weird at the time. It was so bizarre. Like, it was new. I think they were even maybe the first people that got like that ship name. The media just went absolutely bananas for them. Weddings at the chapel are perhaps going to spike. I hope you booked your time slot. I did. Booked. Also, they could spike, but also they could put the prices up. Everything's already booked and paid for. A-Rod is a swear word, according to a lot of my friends in the baseball world. I mean, he definitely cheated on Jennifer Lopez. And in what world? Come on. Please. He looks like a potato man compared to JLo. She is 50 years old. She might be 51. She looks fantastic. It is ridiculous. Insane. And their families got along, and they're like, why? And of course people will blame her, because, yeah, I saw that it's rumoured to be from Jersey Girl, but it doesn't look like the same dress to me. It looks like a completely different dress. The fabric is similar, but it looks like a different dress. Unless she's wearing it backwards, but even then the fabric looks different. Yeah, just insane. Like, just the ball of that guy to cheat on JLo. When your families get along, and like your kids, and then you're gonna like move together as, it's not just you involved, it's the kids as well. What a dick. Maybe you watched Hustlers and was like, yeah, I want her back. She looked incredible in Hustlers. That was ridiculous. And the guy who cheated on Shakira. Please. Maybe it's some kind of weird, like, Super Bowl curse. Did you all watch that Super Bowl, the JLo documentary on Netflix? If you have not watched that, you need to watch it. Also, just watch it, because I think that should have come out, like, months ago, and A-Rod's been edited out of it completely, because he's just not in it. He's not even referenced in it. There's one moment where Ben Affleck is doing like a talking head, where he talks about her, but she's not with him in it because he's not there at the time. I think there was a point where maybe he was in a car with her, A-Rod, but you don't see him. Never is he referenced or in any footage in this entire thing. And he was very there and involved in this whole time in her life. So I think that Netflix documentary should have come out months ago. And when they split up, they were like, fuck, we're going to need to re-edit this entire thing. Because the whole thing is about like how amazing she is, and how, I mean, to be fair, none of the men should be in it. None of them. It's all about her and how she's like achieved what she has in her life and yada yada. It should be all about her, focused completely on her. But I'm so glad for her that it didn't come out before they split up, because it would have really focused on her. You know, like when you read an autobiography from someone who is, A-Rod was a waste of time. when you read an autobiography of someone who has got divorced and then they're now with a new person, I always think of Billie Piper, because Billie Piper was one of the first autobiographies I ever read. I think I was like in my early 20s or late teens, and at the very end there's a picture of this guy that she was with, and it all kind of, it's almost like that was the happy ending of her short-lived, because she was still very young, autobiography. And they weren't even together for that long, like at all. It's not like even they'd been together for a few years at this point. It was quite a new relationship when she was writing the book, and not that long after she wrote the book they weren't together. And I thought, that's there forever. Like, he is in perpetuity, just like the end of your life story in this book. And I was really, really glad for JLo that had happened in the way that it did, because I for sure think he was edited out. And I think he would have been a real big part of that. And because he's not, she'll be able to watch that back for years and years and just feel really good about that time in her life where she did this amazing thing. She was in the Super Bowl with Shakira, and goes over her entire career, and it's just a real feel good moment for her, and it's not kind of tarnished with, oh, but he's in it, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna go and finally finish this wine, because I can't really drink it while I won't stop talking. Also, I don't know what's happening to those children across the street, but it sounds terrible. I'm not used to screaming. I was brought up that we did not squeal, we did not scream. And so my children do not scream and squeal. And this is a very foreign noise to me. I can't understand it. I've seen things on like Facebook groups where people are like, these children, blah, blah, blah. And then other people are like, it's just kids being kids. It's not. You don't need to scream. You know, certain children, fair enough, but the majority of children, they don't need to scream. It's not a noise you need to make. You can laugh, you can have a good time. You don't need to scream and you don't need to squeal. And that's the note I'm going to end this live on. Thank you for joining me, weighing in on the many dresses. There are like twice as many dresses as I showed you. At some point I will do that video with Emma, because I do need help, and it needs to be not so flipping warm. I'm going to need to bring the big fan in when I try on all those dresses. So yeah, look out for some this or that polls on Instagram at some point in August, because I'm going to need some feedback. And it has been fun, Nikki. Thank you for joining me on this hot day. Oh, there's also the whole thing of people watching and being like, he's ignoring her, how could she not see it? It's easy to see things from when you look. Yeah, totally. Same with Kim and Kanye. Right, okay, I'm gonna go. See ya. Godspeed in this heat.